Okay, welcome to this short yin practice. So you probably want, as usual, still a bit cold in Melbourne, so a blanket, maybe a block if you have, but most probably cushions just to prop yourself up and adjust the practice according to your own abilities. And I've just laid a mat here against the wall, so I don't know if you have a wall at home. We'll just finish up with legs up the wall, just to give you the heads up. Which you can also do either with a block under your hips or cushions. But if you can rest your legs on the wall, it's maybe better. Anyway, let's start straight away in a butterfly. So you'll bring the sole of the feet together and you can start to open your feet out. So we'll just get straight into it. So we're going to start working today on the kidneys. So we are just in a full moon. It's coming tonight or during the night. And as usual, the moon is pretty powerful. So there's a great effect, especially on the kidneys. And the kidney line is going from the pinky toe is going into the sole of the foot inside the leg. And there's a pretty important kidney point, which is just about here in the middle of the sole and getting to the arch. So I invite you maybe to use your thumbs here if you want to give it a bit of a massage in here. Just playing around, maybe trying to find that spot. You don't have to. Just making sure that your legs are not, or heels are not too close so that it's not too strenuous. You can, as usual, use maybe some cushions or props if you feel there's too much pull, opening your hips, and see if you can start to relax yourself. So block can come handy for maybe your forehead if that's available to you. And this way you can just really relax. And you can still maybe even get that massage. So you've got different options, maybe depending on your wrist mobility, using the thumbs or using maybe 4 fingers this way. I don't know what works. You can work maybe even on that whole sort of line, that tender part in the middle of the foot. So we start really activating what we call the Jing, which is the vital energy according to the Chinese medicine, from which the yin practice is derived, or at least the terminology, since yoga practitioners will recognize the poses are just very much the same as yoga, only the name has changed. And that Jing, vital energy in the kidneys, is quite important to work, especially now. I mean, that's something we always pretty much do in yin, but it helps to really harmonize all the fluid in our body so that blood circulation, lymph, urinary system as well. So anything that is to do with flow of fluids within the body, since it can be greatly affected around full moon time or new moon time also, just with the moon, just like the ocean, since we are composed of 60 to 70 or 75% of water. It's quite important to make sure that this gets harmonized. So the forward fold here, you probably would feel it with that pull in the lower back, energizes around the kidneys. And if you're massaging your feet, we're activating that with an acupressure point here on, which quite important major point here, which helps to activate the Jing, the life force. So just take a few minutes here in silence to start to feel, relax the breath. Get into your body. Starting to feel maybe how this moon affects you this time around. It's always a little bit different. We also have a lot of things going on around this time. So we coupled with a new start of the week, major events, this full moon, so very important to really connect to yourself, activate your energy. And very slowly we're going to start to release, real nice and slow. As you inhale, you can start to lift your head up, pushing your props to the side, and you can just come right onto your back, nice and easy. Just to relax into the whole backside of the body. So resting your kidneys completely. And you can take a deep breath in through the nose, exhaling out the mouth to release. Just take about a minute on our backs. Again, we try to move very slowly so that we don't disturb the energies too much. We stay with our awareness deep within, trying not to use too much muscles. You can roll over onto your left side and come lying onto your abdomen, coming to Sphinx pose. So we continue working on the kidney line, so you can adjust your feet. The wider your legs, the easier onto your lower back. So you probably want to have them at least hip-width distance, almost mat distance. And elbows are shoulder width distance apart. forearms are parallel. You can spread your fingers just so that you have a good grounding with your forearms, and you want to relax into your shoulder blades. So just keeping the neck quite long so that you relax onto the upper back. So you're really relaxing the torso right onto your elbows. And to get a bit deeper into your lower back, you can start to contract your glutes and then release it. A couple of times maybe, just making sure that your hips, lower back is completely relaxed, and then really drawing the mat with your fingers so that almost it's more, there's no movement, it's more of an energetical movement. Just like if you wanted to draw your elbows towards your ribs coming forward, this will help you to relax into your shoulder blades, lengthening into the neck, just so that you feel a bit more arching into the spine. Maybe even closing the eyes, and then you can just linger here. Or if you want to go further, you're always welcome to go a little bit deeper into a seal pose, so arms are nice and straight, and the closer you work your hands to your hips, the stronger obviously the arch into your spine. Shoulders are still nice and relaxed. Neck is nice and long. Again, you can maybe clench your glutes, activate your glutes, and then relax them. You should be feeling more relaxation into your glutes, lower back, so that you relax your pubic bone towards the floor. Spreading your fingers nice and wide, so your hands are probably quite wide, at least as wide as the mat. This helps to really relax into the shoulders, shoulder blades, making the neck nice and long. So we activate the Jing here in the kidneys in different ways. We had a forward fold before with a stretch. So just gently starting to get into the kidneys by a gentle stretch. And now we go a little bit stronger with a compression, especially if you're into the seal. You're really compressing, really activating into the kidney line, also energizing into the spine. So again, making sure that you just do as much as comfortable for your own body. Anytime you find you are to the point of pain, any sharp pain, you just want to back off or even release if you need to release, all the way down onto your abdomen, torso, finding a crocodile pose, relaxing completely on your front. Otherwise, we'll just have another minute or so. So if you're not yet into your seal pose and you want to go into seal, you can do so now. Maybe you can deepen your seal if you feel that you can go to your next edge. A few more softening breath. Very slowly You can start to bend into your elbows, coming down. You can bring your hands by your chest, toes to touch, and you can stretch back into a child's pose, buttocks to your heels. You can bring your knees together if you want to relax more into your shoulders, especially if you were in the previous class, power floor, forehead to the floor, and you let your shoulders drop over your knees, noticing the good stretch and relaxation into the lower back after this strong activation by compression. So you want to be taking deep breath in through the nose, into your kidneys, nourishing with oxygen, new prana, this area that we've just activated. Again, very slowly, you can start to inhale your head up. Minimal amount of movement. Coming to a sit, we're going to move into dragonfly. Continue, go a little bit deeper into that kidney line, so you can extend your legs out. So this is where probably cushions might come handy. If you have quite tight hamstrings, lower back pain, any sort of sciatica or bulge disc, any back issues, I would quite highly recommend to just get a bit of a bend into the knees by placing cushioning, or sometimes we can also put a block if you have two blocks, but you might want to keep your block for your head, or if you have other bigger cushions, that's always handy, maybe for your chest, head. You can adjust yourself, take the time. So you want to try to probably keep flexing your toes, keeping the spine nice and straight, maybe even pulling the flesh out of your buttocks. And you want to start in a straight position. So this is a pretty strong pose. We'll be there for some time. So take your time to move nice and slow into it, moving into finding your edge, best edge. As usual, if you go a bit too deep straight away into it, it's probably not going to be the most comfortable anyway, and you might find that you're trying too hard, too quick, which is not going to be bearable for the few minutes that we're going to be there. So again, you can go into stages, just really feeling, allowing for the muscles to relax, just feeling what's going on in the body here. So working with the breath, just trying to soften every exhale, trying to keep your spine nice and straight with your heart forward. So there's not much point here to bring your forehead all the way down. This is not exactly what we're looking for, but rather to get a good stretch into the glutes, back of the legs, in legs. So that's where the meridian, the kidney meridian line is going through into the inside of the legs. And that's the activation that we're looking for. So if you have a block or books, that might come handy to relax your forehead. As often mentioned, we have a lot of nerve endings in the forehead that when they're activated with a slight pressure, it helps to really relax, soften, and induce a sense of peace, so that you can really soften into this pose and just connect with your own breath. Not much you need to do, just lingering there with your own breath. Very slowly, you can start to inhale, lifting your head up, walking your hands back, nice and slow, trying to get minimal amount of movement here, helping your knees to come back. And you can just lean back with the support of your hands just for a moment. Might be a little bit of a strong sensations into the glutes. Maybe you can just gently sway your knees one way, the other way. And we're gonna slowly move into our last pose. Legs up. So you can use a cushion or a block, and you can find maybe the wall, or if you don't have a wall and you just want to stay on your mat, you can lift your hips to place any prop under, and then you lift your legs up. If you don't have any props, you can just bring your hands, they will support your lower back. Otherwise, if you have a wall, you just want to come to the side of the wall. So it's a bit busy around here, but if you come to the side of the wall, then keeping your hips close to the wall, then you're able to, when you turn 90-degree angle, to bring your legs to the wall. You might still need to wiggle yourself a little bit closer. So ideally your body and legs are at a 90-degree angle. And again, if that's more comfortable, maybe placing something under your hips So ideally you want to have your feeling the back of the legs, calves that are resting on the wall. This is more comfortable. And then maybe extending your arms out or maybe overhead. And you can stay in this pose if you want to maybe lengthen the practice up to 15 or 20 minutes in this pose. We won't be in this for so long, but if you want to maybe even end your practice with 15-20 minutes with this pose, very good to drain the blood down from the feet, legs, so especially good at night when you've been sitting or standing all day. Blood has a tendency to get stuck into the feet, so we regenerate the blood as it goes back to the heart. And this is a very good pose to help sleeping as well. So around this time of crazy full moon, that might be of great help. And you just linger there, let the breath, the heart rate soften. And you just want to be aware of any movement of fluid that you might sense in the body. Breath is nice and soft. And you can feel the legs becoming heavier and heavier. Maybe even feeling more weight on your kidneys. Your hip crease. So again, as previously mentioned, if this is your wish, you can go on for maybe another 10 minutes with your legs up, or if you feel ready to start ending the practice, you can hopefully still with your eyes closed, slowly start releasing your legs to come into a complete resting pose, śavāsana, extending your legs, opening your arms, palms facing upwards, turning your thumbs out. Just resting into śavāsana for a few minutes, releasing completely, letting go of that sensation of heaviness into the thigh bones, hip sockets, lower back. Great sensation after legs up, and that feeling of heaviness, blood coming back down through the legs to the heart. Very calm and restful. Again, you can stay much longer in your śavāsana, or if you feel ready, you start to get some movement, deepening the breath, gently rolling over on one side, taking your time, very gentle movements to try to keep the relaxation within the body, within the mind. And gently pushing your hands into the earth. You can come to a comfortable sit with your palms together in front of your heart in the Anjali Mudra. Just noticing the sensations in the body, the effect of the practice, how it makes you feel. And we bow in gratitude to the divine light that surrounds us and resides within each one of us. Hari Om Tat Sat. Peace, love and light. Thank you for practicing with me tonight for this short Yin class. Hope you enjoyed. Just check the others. There's a few different practices. And yeah, keep connecting to the breath. And I'll see you on another video.